Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a specific film. Now, normally I do movie reviews, but today I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. And that is give you the scoop on some of the top movies that are coming out in theater and on demand in 2024. So these are the movies that have been announced, not including all of the movies that are coming out, but some of the big ones. So for January, we have Mean Girls. Now, it's not just a remake. This is actually the film adaptation of the Broadway musical. So this ain't your regular Mean Girls movie, but something a little bit different. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do. Another big one coming out in January is called The Beekeeper. Now, I'm a big Jason Statham fan, and he's been doing a lot of comedy and some light, fun stuff, but this is bringing him back to his rated R, hard-hitting violence type of movie. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. Now, I know a lot more movies are coming out in January. In fact, I just reviewed my first one. It's kind of a rom-com, January type of movie, if you know what I mean. They have the reputation of not being so great after the big, massive blockbusters that we have in January and December leading into the big Academy Awards. But anyway, some of the movies that are coming out in February got me a little excited. One is called Drive Away Dolls. Now, that's not both of the Coen brothers, but one of them, and it's kind of a quirky caper of sorts. Another one is called Bob Marley, One Love. I'm excited to see that one. We had a bunch of biopics in 2023. This is the first one that I know of that's coming out in January or February of 2024. Now in March, we've got Dune 2, Part 2, and I know a ton of people are super excited about that one. I'm not a huge Dune fan, the original or this remake. I don't know why, it just doesn't grab me, but I know it has a huge fan base, and so that's going to be a big one for March. Other ones are Mickey 17, it's called. And that is a film coming from the Korean director who directed Parasite, which won Best Picture. So I'm super curious to see what that one's all about. And then we have Kung Fu Panda 4, Roadhouse. And I don't know a ton about that one. It sounds like it might be a remake. Comment down below, by the way, if you know more about any of these. And I'm trying to give you a quick overview. Otherwise, I would tell you a lot more. But another one coming out in March is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, after we had the female version of Ghostbusters, everybody just thought, well, Ghostbusters is dead. But it's not. We saw another movie of Ghostbusters that was just touching and beautiful and really brought that story forward into the franchise. And so I'm really excited to see what they're doing with this next one. Then in April, we have Challengers, which is a romantic drama with Zendaya, Josh O'Connor. So I'm a fan of all of them. So hopefully it's good. Then we have another Godzilla movie. It's Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. Now, we just had an incredible Japanese Godzilla film that was just so well done. And so we'll see what this one's all about. And then if you are a fan of the Rebel Moon Part 1 on Netflix that just came out in December, I think it was, then you're probably excited about Part 2. I have mixed feelings about it, actually. So I'm hoping Part 2 is better than Part 1, even though Part 1 had some really great elements. We'll see. On to May, we have The Fall Guy, which is a comedy action with Ryan Gosling. It's going to be huge just because he is so hot right now. Then we have a movie called If. John Krasinski wrote and directed it. It's kind of a half animation, half live action combination. Now, I love John Krasinski as a comedian, as a dramatic action hero, and also as a writer-director in the Quiet Place franchise. And if you love that horror franchise brought to us by John Krasinski, you'll be very excited to know we've got another one coming out in, let's see, June. It's called A Quiet Place Day One. So I will be all over that one because I'm such a fan. Another big one that people are very excited about is a film called Furiosa, which is a Mad Max sequel. It's really more of a prequel that explains a lot about Charlize Theron's character. Now, Mad Max was huge, and it's been quite a while since we've seen those characters. So I'm curious to see what happens in that story as well. Then, believe it or not, in May, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's been a couple of minutes since we've had anything to do with the Planet of the Apes, so we'll see. Let me know, do you have Planet of the Apes fatigue, or are you excited to see what a new film might bring? And then we have the Garfield movie, something everyone has been asking for. I'm kidding, of course. In June, we have an action John Wick type of movie called Ballerina, which should be interesting. Keanu Reeves is so amazing. I I watch his funny Instagram and YouTube short reels, and I just amazed at how talented he is, and yet he's so humble. What a guy, and so nice in real life. Then we've got Inside Out Part 2, just for kids and families. Perfect timing in June for it to come out. In June, we also have The Bike Riders, which is a Tom Hardy period drama. I'm a fan of Tom Hardy, so I'm hoping that's good. We also have Horizon, American Saga, Chapter 1. Now, what this is all about is Kevin Costner. He directs this cowboy type of film, and after his experience with some of his recent natural world Western type of films, I'm excited to see what he's bringing to the table. Then we've got Bad Boys 4, believe it or not, The Blue Angels, which I hope is great. And then, as I mentioned, A Quiet Place Day One. Over to July, we've got Despicable Me 4. Let me know if you're excited about that one. I think it's a cute franchise, so we'll see. And then Twisters, which I'm hoping is also really good. It's a storm chasing movie with Glenn Powell, who is so popular right now. I just reviewed a movie with Glenn Powell as a rom-com, and it's called Anyone But You, and I hated it. Definitely check out my movie review on my YouTube channel to find out why I hated it so much. But they're definitely trying to cash in on his popularity. So fingers crossed that this one is good. And then we have an untitled Deadpool. So don't know what the title of it's going to be, but it's another Deadpool in that franchise, and it should be a lot of fun. In August, we have Craven the Hunter, which is basically about a conservationist who kicks bad guy butt. And then we have Harold and the Purple Crayon. Now, that is a very short children's story, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do to turn that into a feature film. Now, into September, my how time flies, we have Beetlejuice 2. Now, talk about a huge decade span of Beetlejuice 1 and Beetlejuice 2. I'm hoping it's fun and quirky. We'll see. Then we've got kind of a prequel for Transformers 1. Do you have Transformers fatigue? Raise your hand. Yeah, me too. So hopefully that one's good. Then we have another one called The Wild Robot. I'm super excited to see what that one's about. In October, we've got Joker. Folie à deux. So we've got Joker Part 2, sort of. I will tell you more as I learn more about that one. We also have another sequel to Smile. Right now it's untitled, but if you like creepy horror, then you've got that to look out for, and that's October. Perfect timing for creepy movies. And then we also have The Wolfman, also timed really well for Halloween. In November, get this, we've got Gladiator 2. What? So I'm very fascinated to see what happens in Gladiator 2. We also have Wicked Part 1. Finally, they've been talking about bringing that Broadway smash hit to the big screen. But the fact that it's in 2 parts is going to be just frustrating already, I can tell. And then another sequel for the film Venom. December brings us The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. Now, don't get too excited. It's an animation that tells a prequel story, like 200 years before the Lord of the Rings stories that we know from the trilogy. Now, don't mess with Lord of the Rings. I know Amazon tried it and it could have been good, but it just veered off into the woke world kingdom, and so many things were disappointing about it. It had some good looks, but the rest of it just was so frustrating. Because I should tell you, if you are new to my channel, Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy ever created. And so my expectations were really high. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping for the best with this animation. Also is Nosferatu, which is going to be interesting, especially as the world is crazy and people are looking for prophecies and answers, and we'll see what happens. Karate Kid comes out. I'm assuming it's a remake, but I don't know that much about that one either. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 comes out in December. Now, I loved the first one. The second one was good, but not nearly as good. And now with the trilogy, we'll see what happens. And then Mufasa, the Lion King, believe it or not. So last year, 2023, tended to be a lot of biopics, a lot of how companies came to be kind of movies. And so we're getting a lot of sequels and prequels in 2024, but we also have some original sounding stuff that I'm really hoping is great. Let me know what you think. Which movie are you most looking forward to seeing in 2024? Thanks for spending some time with me, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.